Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks again for watching. I'm very excited that you're here. Thankful as always. And before we get going, I just wanted to remind everyone to like this video. You can dislike it. I always say that. It doesn't really affect me. I just die a little bit inside each time and then I move on. I'm kidding. Please subscribe though. That is the best way to support my channel, and comment below if you enjoy this video. Please don't comment if you dislike it, because I really don't care. That is a waste of your time and mine. So anyway, I'm feeling a little spicy today. Hopefully I get over that. But we're gonna get into this video. I've got a really interesting, some might even call it unique product that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be testing. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts as a formulator, and I'd rather just get into it. So let's get going. Okay. My hair is getting so light. I feel like every day when I look at it, it's like not blonde, but I don't know. Okay, so I started doing a new segment, I guess it's called, in my videos where I let you guys know about one random ass interesting fact about myself before I get going. And today's is going to be, maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. It's a pretty basic one, I would say, but I have two different color eyes. So, you can see there. A lot of people don't ever notice, or like notice 3 years after knowing me. And then a lot of people, it's like instantaneous, which I always find like that's kind of nice that they actually look in my eyes, because maybe I don't look in other people's eyes. I don't know. But yeah, I was born like that. On my driver's license, it actually says DIC for dichromatic. And people do ask me if I see in different colors, which I like, how do you answer that? So no, I do not see in different colors. And yes, I was born like that, and no, there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, there are other things wrong with me, but not that. Okay, enough of that. Fun fact of the day is done with, and let's get into the video. So as you can tell, the video is all about the Glossier Cleanser Concentrate. This is one of Glossier's newest skincare products, and I was really intrigued by it, and obviously I bought it. I had their milky jelly at one point, and to me, with my dry skin, very like non-sensitive skin, it was fine, but I had no reason to go out of my way to repurchase it. I could, if you want something like that, I think the Cetaphil one is kind of like a dupe for it. Now, this one though, I was more drawn to because it's basically like a gentle exfoliator with chemical ingredients. So it's not like a scrub. You're just getting your like AHA, BHA, that type of thing. So let's go through kind of the claims, and then I'm going to take off the makeup and show you kind of like what it looks like when you use it, and then my thoughts on it. So it does say that it is a gentle exfoliator, and then they say that the main exfoliators in this would be grape extract, grape ferment, malic acid, and lactic acid. Also, try saying grape ferment, grape extract a few times fast. It's a tongue twister for some reason. And then also kind of the star ingredients that they say, niacinamide, which is also known as vitamin B3. They say that it refines pores. Niacinamide is a great ingredient. For me, it's a wash-off product though, so I'm not sure how much you're actually getting from the niacinamide. And then they mention that the surfactants, which we will get into what those are from natural amino acid sources. So that's kind of like the broad overview of it. But I thought before we got going too deep, I wanted to explain what a surfactant is, because you're going to be hearing a lot about that when we get into the ingredient list. So the main kind of category of this product is called a surfactant. And in skincare formulation, you have a few main kind of categories. One of them is surfactants, and those are your foaming or your cleansing agents. They're pretty incredible though, because they do help with other things, not just the cleansing and the foaming. They can help with emulsification, solubilization, penetration enhancement, and then even antimicrobial effects. They are a pretty valuable ingredient. You're going to see them a lot in different skincare products. So one of the keys of surfactants, and the reason that they are so invaluable, is because they are compatible with both oil and water. And obviously when you're having something that's emulsified, which is a blending of oil and water, you need an ingredient that works with both. The other thing is, a lot of times when you're thinking of washing your face, you can, of course, you can just wash it with water, But what water does is it's going to get the surface level dirt off of it. But anything like the oil, obviously water and oil don't mix. It's not going to be able to get the oily deposits in your skin, as well as something that has a surfactant in it. And then just for the sake of this video, we're not going to go into depth about it, but some of the other categories that you might hear of or might see would be emulsifiers, which I think I spoke about before. That's when you combine oil and water. You need an emulsifier. You also have emollients, which help to smooth and soften skin. Squalane is one example of it. It's just kind of an oil that you see a lot these days, so that doesn't exclude all the others. That's just one example I thought of. You also have humectants, which you may hear about, and those are ingredients that attract water to it. Very, very valuable. One of the biggest ones that you've probably heard of is called glycerin. A wonderful ingredient not to be overlooked. And then you have things like occlusives, which basically lock in the water. Those would be things like plant butters and waxes. So maybe like a shea butter or beeswax. And then some of the more obvious ones, which would be actives. So some of your extracts, those are the things that are like the targeted ingredients that are going to be doing certain things. And then preservatives, which obviously preserve the products. So that's kind of a rundown of a general understanding of ingredients and ingredient categories in skincare. And for the most part, so of course this one does have other categories, but for the most part, the main category in this is going to be full of surfactants. And we are going to get into that right now and go over some of the ingredient list. Okay, so the ingredient list is pretty beautiful. I will insert a clip of it here. And of course they have it on their website, although I had a hard time finding it for some reason, but I did find it. And the first ingredient that you can see is water, aqua. So that's very common. That's one of the most common ingredients in all of skincare. And I would say that the majority of this is going to be made up of water. And that's okay, because if it were made up of all preservatives or all of the extracts, it probably wouldn't be skin friendly. So just because it's first doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but just a little note. So the next one is decylglucoside. That is a plant-derived surfactant. And like I said, we're going to be seeing a lot of surfactants, so that's not surprising at all. This is one of the first natural surfactants that kind of was out there. It's a really great one. I have no issues with that whatsoever. The next one, and I hope I don't butcher it, but long ones get me tripped up. It is cocamidopropyl betaine. Those names. This is another surfactant. It's a really mild surfactant. It is also considered natural, and again, another great ingredient for this product. The next one you could probably figure out without Googling. It is chamomile extract, just like it sounds. And chamomile is a great ingredient, obviously, in natural products. It's supposed to lend to the soothing and the calming qualities of the product. So as a mild kind of exfoliator, I understand why they would put that in. And again, no problems there. So the next one might be confusing to some people because it looks like SLS if you abbreviate it. And I know that SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, has gotten a bad rap. This one is actually sodium lauryl succosinate, and the similarities pretty much end in the abbreviation of SLS. It's a surfactant, it's a cleansing and foaming agent, and it's actually derived from an amino acid, which is called sarcosine. So that's what they say in their kind of like highlighted ingredients. So that's the one that they're talking about. So this one is, again, a great ingredient, and I have no problems at all with. And then as the ingredient list goes down, you see glycerin, niacinamide, then you start seeing some of the extracts, lactic acid, malic acid, so on and so forth. And looking over the ingredient list as a formulator, I have no problems with anything in here. I think it's a really great list, and I think it's a great option for those looking to get into chemical exfoliants. And yeah, I think this is a great option. So now we got to the part that you all want to see. Let's put this bad boy into action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys down to the bathroom and I'm going to wash my face. First step, I'm going to actually just wash my face with a cleanser, like a oil cleanser, and then I will come in with this and use it, and I will show you and then wrap up my final thoughts. Let's go. Okay, so my face is all washed, all dry, and oh, I look like a greasy mess though. That's not the product's fault, that's just mine. I'm a mess. I wanted to wrap up and let you know kind of my final thoughts on this product. So all in all, I think this is a spectacular release from them. I forgot to mention, this is $20 and you get 3.3 fluid ounces. It's also in a glass container, which is really nice. It's got, you can kind of close the top. Oh God, I was like, is it open? No, but you can close the top so you can travel with it, and it's pretty easy. It's a pretty good bang for your buck. For $20, I feel like the Glossier prices are actually pretty affordable. And for the quality ingredient list, I think it's a great deal, honestly. So as far as how your skin typically feels afterward, this is one product. It is a chemical exfoliator. I don't find that my face feels like super soft and supple. I actually tend to feel like, especially under my eyes, it can feel a little dry. My skin feels a bit more taut than I would prefer. At the same time, it is a chemical exfoliant. So that's kind of what it's supposed to do. I don't feel like it's so tight and gross and dry that like I don't ever want to use it. And I would say I use this maybe, if I remember, a few times a week, and that's fine. I wouldn't suggest using it every day. I think that would be a little bit overkill, but a few times a week, depending on your skin, would be a great place to start. This is definitely something that I would recommend to maybe a friend that is looking for some way to get a little bit more exfoliation and doesn't want to break the bank, but also wants to look for good ingredients. And I feel like it kind of has everything. The only downside is if you are experienced with AHAs or BHAs or any chemical exfoliants, this might be a little too gentle for you. They do mention that. They say that they're gentle exfoliants, gentle acids. So it's not a surprise that it's not going to be like the most life-changing, I guess. But for me, I think this is more than enough. And if you're regular with this and then you're diligent with the rest of your skincare, you're going to actually see results from this. So you don't have to have the most powerful AHA to do work. Lactic acid and malic acid are actually two of my favorites, especially malic acid. It kind of doesn't get the notoriety and like the acclaim that a lot of like the AHAs and BHAs get, but it's actually a really great one, especially for continued use. So would I recommend this to a friend? 100%. Have I? Yes, indeed. And I would say for you guys, absolutely. It's not that expensive. I think Glossier is a great brand overall. I know they've done a lot of work in certain categories, but I've always found that their customer service is top notch, and pretty much most of the products, I mean, I was gonna say most of the products I love, and that's not true. They are very hit or miss, but this one is an absolute hit, and I love it. So, chef's kiss, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will respond like always. And of course, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!